Welcome to Secrets of a Bridal Seamstress podcast, where we hear stories from fellow seamstresses just like you. We're able to share their success stories. We learn from wedding industry pros for the best business tips, and we get to hear from fellow sewists and crafters to hopefully inspire our creativity and our love for sewing. I'm so glad that you're here. And if you're a bridal seamstress, I'd also like to invite you to check out our Bridal Seamstress Business Membership. We have a community of women that can testify to the power of genuine connection, friendship, vulnerability, the power of our six-figure seamstress method, and a genuine connection found in a business mentorship like this. All right, let's dive into the episode. Hey friends, welcome back to Secrets of a Bridal Seamstress. If you are tuning in from your sewing studio and you are feeling burnt out because it's summer, and so for a lot of us, this is busy season, this episode is for you. We're talking about Burnout with Cortnie Davis. So Cortnie is a florist. She's also a consultant for wedding entrepreneurs to help with systems and workflow. And today she's going to be talking about burnout, which is all too common for us wedding pros. And then what do we do to take care of that? So Cortnie, thank you so much. If you're watching on YouTube, Cortnie has fabulous bangs. So that's the first thing that got my attention.
I have been smiling so big forgetting that this is actually recorded for people to watch because I have listened while driving.
So before we dive in, how long have you had bangs? Because I've gone back and forth. I've had them when I had them when I was in college. I had a brief spell after college, but I feel like there's such a commitment, but yours look so good.
Oh, that's so nice of you. But this is my bang meeting. Hi, I'm Cortnie. I have bangs. I have been a lifelong bang girl. I took a break. I took a bang break. It's for some reason I thought, and that was 8 years ago, I was like, okay, I'm not seeing any Pinterest photos of brides with bangs, so I'm going to grow it out and be very cool. I missed them. I missed my bangs. Yeah. And the older I get, and if you're watching the video, I'm very expressive. So my forehead shows all of my feelings. That has been really helpful. In the mask days, I could kind of get away with people just seeing, my eyes for my expression. And now with my bangs, I can hide the upper part of my expression.
They're so cute. Okay, so I'm already feeling inspired, not by the burnout talk, but just
the bangs.
I'm going to get bangs.
All right, end of the show. Thank you so much.
End of the episode. Okay, so let's talk about how you got into consulting, because you started off as a florist, right? So tell us your journey through that.
Back, right?
Okay.
I know the saga continues. I won't take the entire podcast to tell you my history, but burnout is so near and dear to me because of all of the stages and all of the hats I've worn in the wedding industry. I started as a wedding photographer. So, I did my first wedding acknowledging that I am a bit of a baby. So I started in 2010 was my first wedding. I was a senior in high school. I did not want to do any of that. That sounded very stressful and crazy. And a couple said, we'll give you $500. And a senior in high school says yes to that. Mm-hmm. And I don't do anything halfway. So I hit the ground running. No plan, no systems, no strategy. Just, I love this. I can make money doing this, hit the ground running. So between a move from California to Texas, still running my business, I got really tired of running my business, right? Things slowed down a little for me, blessing and a curse, right? Entrepreneur life. And I started hanging out around a flower shop here in Dallas and just fell in love with the artistry. I would look at something and go, what a beautiful rose. And they'd say, that's a peony. I'm like, I've never heard that before. But it seemed new and exciting and interesting. And how could that be exhausting when it's playing with flowers?
Right. Because I don't know any burnt out florists.
No, everyone's always happy. And carpal tunnel, who? The grass could be greener. So I went from burnt out photographer to starry-eyed floral marketing person. They did not need help in the back, but I had experience in web design from my own business, built them a new website, e-commerce site, did their marketing. And again, without boring you with the whole story, essentially went from working for a small business shop to they were purchased by a large company. So we went from, six figures to millions and millions and millions of dollars over the span of a few years. And by the time I left, it was a $6 million floral department. And I
Whoa.
could not, I learned through boot camp, and I mean, no shade, but I could not look around the room and find someone who was not burnt out.
Yeah.
So that led me to go, okay, I'm exhausted. Everyone around me is exhausted, and we're selling flowers. We're designing flowers. Something's got to give. So I've seen people do it really well. I've seen people do it not so great. I've seen employees who love their jobs and who hate their jobs. And I've made it my mission to take what I've learned from the big guys and the little guys and everyone around, and being a solopreneur myself and helping businesses build better systems, because the systems stop us from the burnout most of the time.
Yeah. Yeah. And that we've had several episodes recently about systems. So if you're listening, there's a reason for that. Okay. Because this is something that I think when we're especially first starting out in the business, the first few years, it's exciting to feel busy, and we feel like every new booking is just more money, and it's like we're doing something right, and there's this adrenaline rush, and we don't understand the necessity for systems and methods until we're like in the middle of the burnout and we're desperate for that. So if you're not there yet, maybe we can help you get ahead of it. But if a listener is there and they're like, I'm just ready to be done, I miss my kids, or I miss seeing my friends, or I don't eat real food anymore, where do we go from here? Yeah.
Yeah, come hang out with me. I mean, there's so much, and that's not really the pitch. I mean, there's so much that we can do that I think that as creatives and entrepreneurs, we make excuses for it. I'm so glad you said I haven't eaten real food.
Yeah.
There was a Facebook post I saw of a vendor who, kind of in a proud way, posted that she had eaten for the first time around 9 p.m. and it was half of a turkey sandwich and a couple chips. And she was like, #hustle. I'm like, oh, no,
Yeah.
please do
Yeah,
not.
that was 2019 to 2021 for me. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, and what a time. Okay. So listen,
Yeah.
it's wearing that as a badge of honor for the grind of it is what I fight against it every single day. So I'm really excited to help people not go there. Again, to the people who haven't started down that path, to avoid it, and the people who are in the thick of it, to know they're not alone. And here's how we can start to crawl out of that pit.
Yeah. Let's talk about it. I'm here for it. I'm taking notes.
Love it. First and foremost, I think that taking a beat from your work, if you are in the throes of your burnout, take a beat. And whether that is, for me, I have to go outside. And again, I'm in Texas. So outside right now, I get a whole 30 seconds before I'm dripping sweat. But I need to find some shade and some sunscreen. I need to go outside. No computer, no phone. I need some cold, cold, cold water. And I need to reset. And what I mean by that is I need to reevaluate what my priorities are. Not in work, but in my life, right? 9 times out of 10, and I'm fortunate enough to have, a wonderful husband who I actually enjoy and want to spend time with.
Yeah.
That's my priority. I don't have kids, that's by choice, but my marriage, my home has to be top priority, because that's where I'm spending all of my time and my energy. So if the work that I am in is ultimately taking me away from my priority, which, I mean, I say my home and my marriage, it's just sanity, I think, is at the top.
Yeah.
Then there's a misalignment of the values. So getting clear, slowing down enough to get clear on what are my priorities. If I had to pick 3 for myself, again, it's happy home, healthy body, healthy mind. Right? Well, I know I can't have all of those if I'm working every single Saturday. If I am answering emails at 7 and 8 and 9. Now, I have not yet broken the habit of, I wake up every morning and I check my email.
Yeah.
I know
You're not alone in that. I know.
Why are we like this? My husband, software engineer, he's like, there is nothing that we need to fix within 10 minutes of being awake that can't wait for another hour.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
But we stay in these mindsets, and it just keeps us in the hustle, in the grind, and we can't focus on our priorities. Right? So take a step back, get evaluated, get clear.
And I think even just that first step is so hard for listeners, because you get addicted to the adrenaline rush of the the busy week, or, oh my goodness, I'm finishing up this dress right before it gets picked up, and it's like exciting. And I've been talking with several ladies just this year who their goal this year was to have like fewer clients, higher tickets, just more time, and they don't know what to do with that time. So taking the beat and like, okay, whether you're going outside or like journaling, I love to journal. So giving yourself permission to pause and actually think about the cycle before you start another day in the cycle. Yes, that's huge. So point number 1 is already gold. Keep going. Yes.
And I think just that daily practice, if you can make it part of your daily practice, the days that I find myself happiest, and I don't want to say like most productive as the end all be all of every day. Not every day has to be productive. What a concept. But if we can get into a daily practice of like, okay, what realistically has to get done today? Mm-hmm. And what could I give myself, whether that's time, that's some self-care, that is 60-minute binge watch, like what can I give myself as a way to remind myself that I am just as important as my clients, as the kids, as my spouse, as everything else that I owe something to, right? Give a little bit back to yourself. And what does that look like? Figure out what self-care means to you, because it's different for everybody.
It could mean eating real food.
Yeah, please.
And like setting a timer to like refill your water bottle, or like take a little walk around your shop, or to leave the studio or stretch or something, like so that you're reminding yourself that you're just like another human working instead of a machine.
I am a person. I am a whole person. I love that you said the timer for water. This is how I know as a society, like we really need help. We've got apps. There's an app where you feed a llama every time you drink water. And like it's like your little pocket pet to incentivize you to drink water. My husband got something for his water bottle that blinks like every 30 minutes, like a flashing light, and that tells him to go drink water. I'm always thirsty, so I'm always drinking water. But yes, these little things, if it takes the blinking light, if it takes the alarm on your phone, or the little llama app, or like use those tools. Those are tools. Those are systems. I think some people feel shame around them, but use the tools at your disposal.
Yeah.
Google Calendar, great reminders.
So then how do you work around clients with that same mindset? Like, we have the self-care, we have some things that we can do with ourselves, but then how does that translate to how we interact with clients and like book the clients?
Every time, because these clients, bless them, many people are amazing and perfect and beautiful, and I really do. I'm very lucky to have great clients, but I think a lot of that is I trained them in the beginning on how to communicate with me, when I am available, when I am not available, and set those expectations early. It is very easy to fall into the trap of, oh, well, I'm just watching TV, so I can just scroll through my phone and answer an email. Okay, well, now the next time you don't answer at 7 p.m., they're going to think you ghosted them.
Right. Yes. We talk a lot in the membership about how a lot of like the sticky situations with clients come up because of unclear expectations and communication at the very beginning of the relationship, So if they know exactly what to expect, if they know what you expect of them and what they can expect of you, they know how to communicate, what the rules are, it does seem to work a lot smoother. And I was just reminded of that actually this week. I had a client who I bent the rules for her back in the fall. I typically have a very strict timeline of like when I work with clients and when they come in for their first consultation, as opposed, and then when they pick up. And she, in her mind had a very crazy situation, so she needed a bonus consultation, and that was just like the beginning of and so here it is, like, I don't know, 10 years in, and I'm still learning, like, this still happens. Like, you think you got it down to a science, and then there's that one that sneaks in, you give them an inch, they take a mile. And then she found my number, and I got a text from her today, and I was like, what's happening? Where'd you get this? I think we have somebody in common who's like a friend of mine. So then the text came, and I'm like, okay. But I think it started with the unmet. Yes. So, so finding those,
so much of what we do is I mean, at least I'll speak for myself. I think that everyone in the industry should just say, like, we are in the service industry. We provide a service. We should be customer service obsessed. We should provide excellent care. And I am so guilty as a people pleaser. I'm also Enneagram 2, if that speaks to anyone.
I'm a 3-2.
Okay.
So I got a strong 2 wing.
I'm a 2-3, so we're just meant to. And I swear, all of the people, I end up supporting a lot of 3s because but it is very, very easy to go, yeah, I'm gonna set that boundary. Oh, but this person's so nice, so like I have that boundary, but that one person is gonna, again, they'll take, and they don't mean anything by it.
They don't mean to. They don't mean to be an energy sucker, but they are. No. Or an energy vampire. Is that what they're called now? That's what the kids are calling them now? Yes. So this is an energy vampire who just texted me. Yes.
And I don't think it's usually out of malice or out of manipulation. And maybe that's the woo-woo here. But if you give them permission, why wouldn't they take it? So,
right.
Someone early on in my career, it like smacked me in the face with this information that, like, why have a contract if you're not going to enforce it? And so it's the same thing with our boundaries, right? The boundaries are there for a reason. And so the next time you think, oh, well, I'll just make an exception here. And I'm saying this to myself. I hear it. I'm going to have to listen back to this podcast to listen to my own advice. But it is, remember why you put that boundary in place in the first place. You might actually be doing them a disservice by going against your own boundary.
Right. Because I know if I were to have responded to that text right away, I would have responded in annoyance. There would have been passive aggression, like tangible, like you could cut it with a knife.
Oh, yeah.
But I'm going to let it rest, and then I'm going to message her back and say, check your email. I sent you that email. And then the email is going to be so kind because I'm going to have had time to, like, okay, take a deep breath. So that's where I think a lot of our issues with clients come in, because there's a miscommunication. We react instead of respond, so we're like reacting the moment, and it's like, okay, then good luck recovering from that. It's like all over at that point.
You give yourself more work. It's why when I see someone's like Google business reply to a bad review,
yes,
I'm like, someone should have coached you to wait like 72 hours. Okay. I know AI is a hot topic, but listen, if that's a tool you use, that would be a great reason to use it. Because if you respond, and basically if you let your burnout show and you get a little spicy with someone, you're going to do 3 times the work repairing that relationship or repairing the damage from the fallout. That's why I'm like, you can afford a long weekend to reset, because you will be making way more time, have way more peace in the future.
Yeah.
Time. Give yourself permission.
Yeah.
Blows my mind every time.
Do you have tips for, like, how many clients you suggest that each person, like, books a month, or, like, your booking strategies, or to, like, I know ideally we're thinking now at the beginning of the season to avoid burnout, so we can talk about that. And then, like, when you are in the middle of the season, what do you do now once you're stuck in it?
Oh yeah, that's real. The question on, how many people should you book, everyone's bandwidth is so different, right? I know I talk a lot when I get up and talk to people, I talk about having ADHD. I think especially women, a lot of women are finding out later in life that we have it. Welcome to the club, super fun. I know that my bandwidth might be a little bit smaller, right, than someone who is feeling real neurotypical and can handle, maybe you want to take on 20 appointments a week. No, thank you. I know, again, different world, but there was a time in my career where I was having 24-hour-long consultations a week with floral proposals due within 48 hours of that consultation.
Oh my goodness.
And that was the expectation, right? And to the kind of tone of it all was like, yeah, because we're doing it for, the bigger picture, and look what we've built. And that's not my bandwidth. If someone can handle that and have a healthy social life and be in touch with themselves, that's theirs. Figure out what that is. The earlier you know that, the better. I recognize the privilege of being like, okay, you've got to hustle, you have to make money. So there might be reasons of it. But at least if you know, okay, comfortably I can take 10 appointments a week.
Right.
For the next month, I'm going to have to do 15 because I need to get that extra bill. But I know I have to set a date and get back to my baseline. So just I know it's like, figure it out, like not a very good answer. But it is so personal. It's so personal.
Yeah.
And when you're in it, I actually have an entire talk just on Google Calendar. Can you tell that I am a nerd who stays inside? I love utilizing Google Calendar to schedule intentional breaks throughout the day. Schedule your lunch. Let's stop eating at our desks. Get away from your computer. Get away from your home office or your studio, or like, again, for me, get outside when it's not 1,000,000 degrees. Go away. And I schedule it every single day. I have a very bright red, it's a recurring event on my Google Calendar. Some people, they need to go do yoga. Put it on the calendar and set it as a date that you cannot cancel on yourself. That is the only way, in my opinion, to survive the burnout season.
Yeah, I think because when seamstresses ask me this question, it's the same thing. It's like, well, it depends. It depends what kind of dresses you're taking on, what designers you're working with, what your sewing pace is. If you offer like shortcut pricing, some seamstresses are like, absolutely not. I'm only going to do like top tier work and charge top tier prices, and then others are like, well, here are some shortcuts that we can offer for a different price point, whatever. Sure. So all those things come into consideration. But I think what Cortnie's saying, and I want everybody to hear this, is you are booking, because kind of going back to your consultation calls and the quote that you'd be sending out 48 hours later, when we're working with clients and we're booking our fittings, we have to remember that we have like 6 to 8 or to 10 hours with our typical dresses after that fitting. So that's what you want to include into your schedule. You can use that Google Calendar to like book out the intentional sewing hours, but the least you could do is just acknowledge the fact that you need to find that time in your schedule in addition to like the FaceTime with the clients, you know. And I think that's where a lot of us get tripped up, because we just see, oh, I only have 10 or 12 clients a month and it's doable, whatever. But then when you calculate how many hours of sewing that's going to mean, how do you fit all of that in? So that's going to be different whether or not you have a staff or you're working by yourself or whatever. But like the first thing I ask somebody is, do you have a sewing only schedule? Like, are there days that you're just sewing? Or I have a week on, week off schedule. So it's like, I'll see clients for a week, and then the next week is like, I'm just working on the dresses. Like I can show up in my sweats and sew or whatever. Yeah. Takes that pressure off. But just find a rhythm where you can commit to the actual work, not just the client interactions. And sounds like that's kind of what you were hitting up against with your like floral consultation calls. Like, yikes, that is...
Touched on something I completely glossed over, was that, yes, it's because I'm like, schedule lunch. Oh, but also schedule the work that isn't making you money.
Yeah.
Right? You can schedule your appointments all day long, but yes, those appointments have hidden time costs. If I did a 1-hour consult, well, their proposal is going to take me about 2 to 3 to...
Oh, wow.
Or like because I'm, you know, as a florist, you know, speaking from that perspective, I have to find the flowers. I have to source, okay, what is the cost of this flower? In order to price you correctly, I need to know my markup. And then I need to take a beat, research the next client, start again. So it's not just how many appointments can I make, how many clients can I bring in? It is, how much time do I really have to spend per client?
Right.
While still maintaining my social life, my health, my, you know, all of the things that make our lives whole.
Yeah. So you're a consultant. So what does that look like for a client who works with you and they're coming to you with this issue of creating systems to avoid burnout? Like, what does that look like when working with you?
Yeah. There's a few things. So again, I love a Google Calendar. Sponsor me in Google. I want to walk through. So I do like a half day or a full day, you know, consulting where I'll ask, what are the things that are important to you that you can't reschedule? Oh, I have this, that, or I have to pick up my kids at this time. Okay. You're not moving that time. That goes first, right? So we go through their life. And that sounds very life coach, but like, what's bringing you joy? What can get moved around? What are we prioritizing? Let's build out that calendar, literally build the calendar. Great. We've got the life map kind of. Okay. what systems are implemented in your business. Are they working? Are you using them to their full potential? I love a CRM. Like, used well, I'm a HoneyBook girl myself.
Oh, okay.
It works well for me. I know everyone's got, different preferences. Admittedly, I don't know what CRMs even are best for seamstresses, and that's something I should know more
Yeah,
about.
we have a few that use HoneyBook.
You can call it whatever. Honey love. That's a fun one.
Well, I've called it Honeywell, and I'm like, that is not the same thing. That is the porta potty. So, HoneyBook. Yeah.
Yes. Book. And I know there's Dubsado and hats and there's all sorts of them. I've used HoneyBook forever.
Yeah.
So, but if they don't have one, let's find the right one for you. Let's do a little bit of research. Let's understand, what are your needs? Do you need to send invoices? Are you sending your invoices and your contracts in one platform? Do you have a contract? Going through all of the tools that are low cost, sometimes free. Not everyone's ready for a CRM.
Right. Oh, totally. Yeah.
Okay.
There's some great free ones, and that is like the best way to introduce yourself to this, to like letting a little bit go.
And I am no stranger to a Google sheet. And it doesn't have to be crazy, Excel formulas. Just getting organized. If you know where things are. So I help clients organize their data, get clear on their business goals, and help them make timelines to get there, right? It's not going to happen tomorrow. We're not going to break bad habits in one call. That's just ridiculous. And I'm not here to make them schedule 17 calls so we can hit that goal. Like, we want to break bad habits. We want to set realistic timelines, and I want to bring tech and systems into their business to track their, cash flow, track their client pipelines, automate what can be automated, and I could talk about that forever, and just get back on track so that they can get to the dinner table on time. That's my little catchphrase. I'm trying to get you to dinner on time.
Yeah. No 9 o'clock half turkey sandwiches and chips.
No. And please don't post that on Instagram. Let's not glorify that for other vendors. We don't need that.
Yes, yeah. I think too, when you take a minute to realize, okay, what could be automated? I think there's sometimes a fear of, I don't want to have canned emails. That was recently a conversation.
Yeah.
And on one of our Zoom calls, and I'm like, well, it depends how canned they sound. Like, you can have an automated email that sounds like, literally, I would say the same thing to every bride anyway, so I'm just going to have it be automated. But it doesn't sound formal. It's my voice, and it's like, I'm super excited to work with you. I'm so excited for your vision for your dress. Like, those are all very true things, but I don't have to hand type them. So if you're listening and you're like, I don't know, I can't relinquish anything because it's not personal, it can still be personal and still completely on brand and attracting a specific client while also being automated. So I just kind of want to curb that before those fears come in,
It's very true. And I do a lot of copywriting for my clients because I'll meet people who are like, I'm very good at being a seamstress, but I have no idea how to talk about it. Okay, cool. I can take that off your plate. I mean, I don't know anyone who's like, you know what I love about running a business? Social media. So it's like, okay, then let's make a plan. Let's get a system to make it easier, or you won't do it.
Right.
It is, the copy is hard. I don't know if you haven't noticed, I'm a very bubbly girl. How I type is how I talk. That is how I wake up like this. I go to sleep like this. I talk to clients with the same voice. So it's very important that the copy that comes from my business sounds like me.
Yeah.
And exactly like you said, I've got templates. And even if you don't automate every single thing, but you have that template where you can go in and change venue name, add specific detail, post appointment follow-ups, have a line that's like, oh my gosh, you cracked me up today with blank, blank, blank. Like, no, you wouldn't pre-program that. Little things you can still customize with, but get a template written. Right. You're sending the same types of emails. So set yourself up for success.
Yeah. And you don't have to copy and paste. Like, you can just set a template, and that even takes that step out of it, because that's what I was doing for a long time. Is like copy and paste. You don't need to do that anymore. It's 2026.
And you don't need a CRM for that. You could, if you use Gmail, you can set up templates and just hit post meeting thank you email, send that in, type a few little quirky sentences that make it feel extra personal. Send it on. Yeah, make your life easier. It's okay to use the tools. Because if you're like,
It's
oh, well,
okay to use the tools.
use
Yes.
the
Yeah,
tools.
there's also this lie that is really common among entrepreneurs where it's like to be busy and burnt out is to be winning, or like kind of going back to the half turkey sandwich thing. It's like that proof that you're doing it right because like you're tired and overwhelmed, or like, and that, first of all, it's not fun. Like, that just doesn't sound fun. And then like other entrepreneurs who are coming up and seeing that kind of content, they're thinking that's the norm. And so we do want to break that cycle, guys. Okay, guys and gals. So let's create something a little bit better, because it, like I alluded to earlier, that can be fun and exciting for the first few years, but it's just not sustainable. So can you imagine yourself at this pace, your blood pressure at this rate till, you're in your mid 70s? And I've talked with women who are in their 60s and they're working so hard because they charged so little. I mean, it was a different time too, but they just didn't know how to even run a business. But there's that pride and like, well, I'm just paying the rent. And I'm like, but you could be making so much more than just barely getting by with the rent. So just be aware of what you're prioritizing and what you're idolizing. And it might be a hustle mindset or that hustle mentality, and it doesn't need to mean success. What if you get to redefine what success looks like and feels like?
I just want to start clapping,
Yeah.
but I feel like that would be really bad for the audio. Yes, I hate hustle culture. It is my least favorite. It's why like I have a love-hate relationship with LinkedIn. I love it as a platform. I can't stand all of the like, yeah, let's go get it. Like, bro,
Oh, mm-hmm.
it is. I believe we have been given this gift of being creative and business savvy, right? Something in us said, all right, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna go for it.
Mm-hmm.
We can be happy. We are not trying to run a billion-dollar tech company. We're allowed to sleep. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
We're allowed to sleep well and eat well and take breaks and laugh with friends. I don't want the next generation of vendors to have carpal tunnel. I don't want
Yeah.
them. Like, I should not be 34 and wearing a wrist brace when I sleep, but I am.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want that for people. So let's start with ourselves.
Yeah. Yeah. And so the automation definitely helps with that, being
Yes.
aware of like what kind of clients you're choosing to work with too. And that can be a tough habit to break, but realizing, so can you touched on this a little bit before we started recording, how you don't have a minimum. And sometimes people think that you have to have a minimum in order to like reach your ideal client. But what does that look like when you do have your like financial benchmarks that you want to hit, but then you don't want to be exclusive? How does that like work out in your business?
So a much bigger conversation, and it's a very rebellious take from me, is I think that the word luxury has been overused, that it no longer has meaning. Hot topic alert.
100%.
Yeah. And so to me, when I started my business, my personal floral business, I made it my mission to serve all loving people is kind of my thing, right? If you don't value what I have to offer, because my prices are my prices, well, you won't hit my minimum because you don't want to spend any of it, right?
Right.
If there is a happy, loving bride, I just booked a client. She just needs a beautiful bouquet, 2 boutonnieres, and a bridesmaid's bouquet. I think her total came to maybe $400. I said, look, okay, for me to come out and deliver this to you, it would be an additional cost, or you can pick it up. You can pick it up. Great. Now, is she someone's dream client who, because that person wants to do ceiling installs and that? No. No, she
Yeah.
just wants to pay. She's simple. She's my dream client because she was grateful, excited, happy that I was a creative and had opinions and ideas, and was flexible. She was like, I would love to pick up.
Yeah.
Great.
Okay.
I
Cool.
don't, yeah, it made my day easier. I'm going to make, $300 on a day I currently don't have anything booked. Great. Why not? So that's my take. And again, it's a hot take. I am one of the few florists that I know of in my area that have no minimum. But that doesn't mean I have low prices.
Right.
It doesn't mean I'm going to make
Yeah.
a bridal bouquet for $3. I can't. I physically couldn't do that. Even if I grew flowers, that was not possible.
Yeah.
But I can allow myself to have conversations with more people. I also think not having a minimum means that people who might think they have a low budget, once they have a conversation with me, well, hey, maybe they realize, oh, they value this more than they thought they did, and find more things they need.
Yeah.
I want to talk to people.
I feel like that kind of could be translated in the sewing world for those of us who take on bridal party, not just brides. So I do like mother of the bride and bridesmaids. And it's like, okay, you just get to meet more people. And it's not like the work is cheap. I mean, it's still, it was funny. I saw a comment. We have like a Best of Olympia group chat or like Facebook group. And so when I'm tagged in there, I'm like, oh, yay. And so one of the comments, somebody was looking for alterations for, I don't know, for what. And somebody said, there's a really cute place in Tumwater called Sweet Francis Sewing Co. And I was going to take my bridesmaid dress there, but I didn't really care about the dress enough to pay those prices. And I was like, okay, that's actually great because she knows it's going to be quality. She knows that it's like higher pricing, but she can make the decision of whether she wants to come here and go to the mall. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, okay.
You didn't value
But
it.
if you want, yes, exactly. And so, but you can still have that reputation of quality work, and you just conserve, because I mean, I know how much time it takes to finish a bridesmaid dress, a typical one, you know what I mean? So like for me, I feel like it's fun money, it's a different color thread to use, so I'm going to take it. But if they don't want to pay those prices, you know, they can go to the mall, and that's fine too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My starting price for a bridal bouquet is usually $250 unless they want something very simple. Okay. I guess in theory that would be a minimum.
Yeah.
But I also list my prices right up front so that I don't have the burnout feeling of arguing with people about my pricing.
Right.
It's there. That was one of my specific tools. I don't want to convince you that this number makes sense. You saw it.
Right.
You reached out. So it probably does make sense. And that's okay. Please go where you want to spend your money. For alterations, that was something for me as a very DIY bride in 2018. I just had no concept of. But the budget I thought that I had, when I went in and had the best customer service, they could have told me, oh, we have to sell you a whole new dress. I probably would have bought it.
Yeah.
Just because, and I didn't know I had that budget, right?
Yeah.
I would have made it work.
Right.
I valued it.
Right, exactly. And so that's kind of the focus when you're thinking about your dream client. What are their values? And for us, their values are a well-fitting gown and they also read. So they read your website to know what your price brackets are. Those are the values of ideal clients. They can read. Yes.
They can read. And give them, I know this is not necessarily a burnout tool, although again, the more information you give up front, the less you're having to chase the information down or force it to them. Just make it obvious. The information that you need them to value, make it very obvious on your website.
Yeah.
You know, one of the services...
And in the contract, and in the reminder emails. Yes, just have it be, yes, totally.
Clear as kind. That is a Brene Brown quote. Clear as kind. Yep. That's my girl. A service I offer is website audits. So I'll go through and say, okay, here's what I'm seeing from the eyes of a client. I don't know what your pricing is, or I don't know where you're located. I couldn't find your...
Oh my gosh, how many times do we come across that? It's like,
come on.
Is it even on the footer? I don't even think it's there. Yeah.
No. So, and even though it sounds like those are just website tweaks, those really are things that you get that one email. I'm sorry, where are you located? And you're like, please don't make me answer this for the 20th time. Automation.
Right.
So it's all of these things come together because my passion is, let's get you to dinner. So what are all the little things we can do to make your life easier?
Yes.
Your job for longer.
Right. Okay, so how do we work with you? Where do listeners find you? Give us all that info.
Come talk to me. I blame my mother for having a uniquely spelled name, so good luck with this one. So for the listeners, I will spell my name out. My website is CortnieDee.com. None of that's easy, so let's break that down. That is CortnieDee.com. CortnieDee.com. Y'all, please just shoot me an email. Fill out the form. Get in touch. I don't care if you want a full consulting thing. You just have a couple questions. I love being a resource. So please, please, please don't be a stranger. y'all's community is now my community.
Are you on Instagram or
At
social media?
Cortnie Dee or at Cortnie Dee. That's
Okay.
also me. It's my personal,
Perfect.
but it's also my educational. So
Okay, perfect. Oh, then we're in for it. Okay.
I love
Well,
it.
thank you for this conversation. And I hope listeners, if you're kind of in the middle of it, you're sewing and tired as you're listening to this episode, there's still hope. There are still some small tweaks that you can make in the middle of busy season to successfully survive it. And yeah, you don't need to go it alone. So you have a couple of us to reach out to if you're in the middle of it. But Cortnie, thank you for these fun ideas. And hopefully we can all get outside and sit in the shade and take a beat. That could be our one takeaway.
Let's take a beat together, y'all. I'm ready when you are.
Thanks, Cortnie.